just one thing I want to throw out here, and I want to cause a bit of mischief with the US government. I've just been somewhere in the United States where I know there is another portal, and I know the United States knows about it.
And do I have a banger for you today? Check this out. This is a 9-year-old video. I'll drop some references down below. This is a Cern ritual, one of 2 that I'm going to show you, and there will be some documentary with it. You need to watch this. It is important.
What the?
Then this shepherd arouses a horned man who struts into the scene, complete with eerie red lighting and smoke like he's rising from the abyss. That also included this creepy angel that flies down over the top of some of the miners, presumably representing the 9 who died. And then once the first phase, we'll call it the opening of the portal, concluded, the various religious and political dignitaries boarded the train and headed toward the northern terminus at Ertsfield. And note that the choice to begin in the south and end in the north represents the ascension of something to the surface. That is, the opening of the abyss. The primary performances took place on a massive outdoor stage in Ertsfield, a small city that lies within the canton of Uri in Switzerland. Uri, by the way, is a type of extinct bison, echoing the horned theme once again. So, as the dignitaries settled into their comfortable bandstand seats, a display lit up, showing what looked like a huge rock mountainside. Dancers dressed as miners climbed this rock face, and they dug into the earth, so to speak, to unveil what was beneath the earth, a great machine formed from human arms that rotated and churned into various shapes and design, many of which resembled the Large Hadron Collider at Cern. Once this opening was achieved, the miners stripped off their orange jumpsuit attire and took up arms. That is, they used staves to perform a dance routine that looked like warfare. Then once that battle concluded, a group of women joined the men, and the women were wearing only white underwear. And the entire dance troupe engaged in a frenzied display amidst a cloud of dust that simulated smoke, I guess. And it was this forensic dance that aroused a giant. So clearly, the endeavor connected to Cern is far more than Switzerland's braggadocio about an engineering feat. The connection between Cern and ritualistic summoning of a sleeping giant, the horned god of Cernunnos, or even Melkart, both are types of the rising, dying god. And Melkart slept for half the year, which may be why Elijah told the priests of Baal to call louder, because he might be sleeping. Now, as the giant in this ritual dance awakens, the dancers perform ritualistic sex rites, similar to what I believe unfolded on Jeffrey Epstein's island, if you will. And you can read our exhaustive analysis of the symbolism behind that mind-boggling event in Abaddon Ascending. Of course, I can only speculate, but I note the connection between Nimrod, Apollo, and Abaddon, Apollyon at Cern, and the history of the region are all highly curious. Apollo was worshipped by the Romans of that area, as well as the Greeks and in central France. Apollo was equated with the Celtic god Atep Omerus. These two characters were combined to create Apollo Atep Omerus, which can be translated as great horseman or possessing a great horse. In the Celtic belief, horses were closely related to the sun. The interesting thing to note is the connection between this idea of Apollo being associated with horses in France, where part of the LHC and Cern resides, and what the book of Revelation states about Abaddon, where it says, "And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon." End quote. I also note that Revelation chapter 9, after describing how these devil worshippers will be judged during the Great Tribulation period, it ends in verse 21 saying, "Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries," which is the Greek pharmakia, "nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts." Now, pharmakia is the word that describes the ancient occultic effort to use mind-expanding drugs during rituals in order to open a doorway for making contact with unseen supernatural entities.
The material you just referenced was about 9 years old. This has been on YouTube for quite a while. And it's amazing that it's out in the open like this. I mean, they're literally summoning demons in the open. I don't know if they're successful at it, but word on the street, they're successful at it, all right? You've seen all this UFO stuff, interdimensional travel. You know what I'm talking about. All right, anyhow, that's this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. More to come. I'll holler at you next time. Stay cool.